I've got 5 easy upgrades to your favorite Easter sides. We're gonna start today with creamy, cheesy ham and potato casserole. Because look, you got your ham and your potatoes in one dish. Maybe no one wants to stand over there and slice the ham. That's why my mission today was to keep it easy. Now we usually get the honey-baked spiral ham. For this casserole, we're taking a shortcut. They have the sweet honey sliced ham in the deli. And then you're just going to take some russet potatoes, almost a whole bag, peel them, and then thinly slice her. So that's the extent of the prep, and we just have to make the creamy sauce. What I love about this casserole is that it's full of pantry staples. We're not using any canned items here, no cream of in this casserole. So you can keep it really affordable. All you have to buy is the ham, the potatoes, most everything else you have on hand. So I'm gonna start by melting butter. We're making our own cream of, and then I'll add in some onions and just cook them until they're soft. Once those are soft, add in a little flour. You know the drill, this is nothing new here. Cook the flour for about a minute and then go in with your liquid. For the liquid, I've got a combination of heavy cream and milk. So this is gonna be really rich, but it's a holiday. So I'm gonna bring this up to a simmer and then we'll add our seasonings. The seasonings are pretty classic. We've got some cayenne pepper, a little nutmeg, and then salt and pepper, and then I'll finish it off with a little Worcestershire and fresh thyme. I'm gonna give it a taste to really check the salt level. You know, potatoes are gonna suck up a lot of salt, so don't be scared to flavor your food. That is so good. I am gonna go up on the salt. All right, now we build. So we're gonna take about a quarter of the sauce and just put it into the bottom of the casserole. This is also one you could totally make the day before. And then a layer of your potatoes. I feel like if you didn't want to cut your own potatoes, you could do this with the cubed up hash browns that are in the freezer section. But don't take a shortcut on that sauce. That is too good. So we're gonna have 3 layers of potatoes. There's one, and then you could still give it a little sprinkle of salt on this layer. And now we're gonna use about 1/3 of what's left. I'm gonna take 1/3 of the cheese. This is a sharp white cheddar cheese. And then half of the ham. It's already sliced, so I'm just gonna kind of tear it and lay it down. Right, and then I'm gonna repeat that whole situation. And then the final layer is 1 more layer of potatoes. This is gonna feed a ton of people. Even if you're not thinking about Easter, this makes just a good dinner. 1-pan dinner. You've got your meat and potatoes all in one dish. And this is a Chef John recipe, so you know it's gonna be good. I had to add a little more heavy cream to the sauce because I wanna have plenty to put on top. If you find yourself a little short, you could just add in a little more heavy cream. And then the final bit of cheese. You could do this part ahead of time. Keep it covered and then bake it when you're ready. This goes in now, 350 degrees for about an hour and a half. Something this sinful shouldn't be allowed on Easter. Look at that. Now here's the deal. You can see it's really saucy around the edges. That's gonna reabsorb into those potatoes and make this the creamiest, best casserole ever. You just have to let it sit. So it's perfect if you're entertaining with this one because you can pull it out right when people get there because you know you're gonna talk for a little bit. The longer this sits, the better, and it will retain its heat. So at least 20 minutes or so, don't touch it. I mean, if Easter had a casserole, this is it. You can taste the richness right there. All right, I can't wait any longer. Creamy ham and cheese and potato, the first taste of Easter. Like, this must be what heaven tastes like. The richness is so good in here, but it's not overwhelming. The potatoes are tender. You get those little tiny bits of salty ham and cheese. If you just wanted to make one thing for Easter, you could probably just make this. Maybe a salad to go with it. I mean, we started off so good, it's gonna be hard to beat this one. But I'll try. As promised, a new take on a familiar favorite when it comes to Easter casseroles. I bet you have some form of green bean on your table, but do you have the Italian green beans and artichoke casserole? I do. 100% of the time, every Easter, this is what we have. I've shared a version of this before, the way my family does it. Now I'm even kind of jazzing up our own family version and keeping it really easy. We usually use canned green beans for this, but I just love these frozen ones. And I've been cooking frozen ones in the oven lately as an easy side for my family, and they turn out perfect every time. I feel like I can combine that method with the old family recipe and make something delicious. And then I'm doing a bag of frozen artichoke hearts. You could also do 2 cans drained. All this is still frozen, kind of partially thawed a little bit, so it is gonna give off some moisture as it cooks. To that, a whole bunch of grated Parmesan cheese, some garlic powder, salt and pepper. So the flavor here is that of stuffed artichokes, the Italian stuffed artichokes, where you have lots of Parmesan cheese, lots of garlic, oh, and breadcrumbs. Gotta get the breadcrumbs. All right, and then you wanna moisten everything that's in here with a good bit of olive oil, and you wanna use the extra virgin olive oil here. And once everything is just kind of evenly coated, you're good to go. There's really no way to really screw it up, okay? Then pile it into your casserole dish. I wanna get a bigger dish. Sorry, friends. There's really no way to really screw it up. Okay, that's more like it. Now, I saw another recipe that had you top it with mozzarella cheese. I'm gonna let this get going and decide later if I wanna add cheese. I'm going into the oven, 400 degrees, probably for about an hour, and you wanna stir it maybe every 20 minutes. Bring out your inner Italian this Easter. This smells like everything we love about stuffed artichokes, but without all the work. I did go in the last 10 minutes and sprinkle with a little more grated parm. So you can see how I got all toasty with those breadcrumbs and olive oil. This one doesn't have a creamy sauce, so it doesn't need to come together or anything. It's ready to serve as is. What I love about this casserole versus some of the others is that it's not overly creamy and rich. You just get those little perfect bites, a little still crisp tender on the green beans. I do love using the frozen green beans versus the canned. You just get more of that veggie bite. The flavor from the breadcrumbs with the cheese, with that extra virgin olive oil. I mean, it's perfection. It may not be like the prettiest one on the table. Don't judge a book by its cover. This right here is the something different you've been looking for. We're on a roll, but we can't forget about brunch because some people prefer a brunch menu over a lunch menu. So I've got you with this overnight mushroom and asparagus strata. It's gonna be easy and it incorporates Easter's most iconic vegetable, the asparagus. I've gone ahead and just sauteed some mushrooms in butter, so those are ready to go. Now I'm just gonna chop up our asparagus. Even if you are serving this for lunch, I think it's the perfect accompaniment to all the other casseroles and to your ham, Easter ham. And this casserole's got it all. It's got your veggies, it's got your starches, and your creamy cheesiness. Grease your casserole dish. Did I mention this was overnight? So this is your make-ahead side if you're looking for one. And then I've gone ahead and toasted some English muffins. So you're gonna place them toasted side up in your casserole dish. Put as many that will fit flat, and then you can tear the rest to fill in any open spaces. I love using English muffin instead of just regular bread. Something about those nooks and crannies. All right, and then on top of that, you're going to sprinkle in half of the cheese. And then in go our asparagus. The onion, this is half an onion, and some red bell pepper. So you've got all those really pretty spring colors in here, and then mushroom. Right now we gotta make the egg mixture. All right, so it's 8 eggs and 2 cups of milk. Of course, I'm gonna use full milk here. You could even use half and half if you want it a little richer. I'm gonna season it up with dried mustard, salt, and pepper. The dry mustard just kind of gives it that like subtle kick in the background. I wanna make sure it's really well blended so that it kind of gives you that custard look and not like bits of scrambled eggs so much. There, you want it to look like it's one homogeneous mixture right there. I'm just gonna pour this all over. And this is an overnight casserole, so we wanna let it sit overnight or at least several hours. You just want all of this egg and milk mixture to absorb into those English muffins. I'm just gonna cover this and pop it in the fridge, and then just before we bake it, we'll top it with the rest of the cheese. Springtime vibes right here. I love the confetti of the red pepper and the green asparagus. Not only does this look comforting, it looks a little bit fancy, and you saw how easy it was to make. Why do we always have to let things sit? But I got to. I feel like we need a mimosa for this one. That's more like it. Now it feels like brunch. All right, let's see how we did. This one's a new one for me. Wow, that is pretty. If you're a fan of the omelet station, this is the one for you at your next brunch. Loaded with veggies, cheese. Ooh, I love the way the English muffin got nice and toasty on the bottom. That is about 10 times better than I even thought it was gonna be. The flavor is perfect. The seasoning, the asparagus, I mean, they still have a little bite to them. They taste so fresh. This really does taste like spring, like a fork full of spring right here. It's satisfying, but not too rich. Love the veggies. If you do brunch for Easter, you gotta include this one. Serving up more spring veggies in this next one, squash and zucchini casserole. Probably in my top 2 or 3 veggie side dishes of all time. First, you want to start by slicing up a whole onion. Then you're going to thinly slice your squash and zucchini. They're just starting to get good in the spring, but in the summer is when they're really good. And then they become really cheap too. Total, you're going to have about 3.5 to 4 pounds of squash. Looks like a lot, but it's going to cook down. As it cooks down, all the natural sweetness comes out. It's so good. So dump all your veggies into a big pot with the onion. And then I'm going to pour over just 2 to 3 cups of water and let it just start doing its thing. Even though we are cooking it in water, we are going to drain it very well. We are trying to actually draw out all the moisture from it and then press it out. So I'm also going to add in a little salt at this point to help draw out that moisture. This process takes a while, but it doesn't require a lot of babysitting. Just walk by your pot every few minutes and give it a stir. Once these are nice and tender, you want to drain it. And when I say drain it, I mean really drain it, because you want every bit of water to come out. Our tender squash, zucchini, and onions go into a bowl. See how much it cooked down? This is another casserole that doesn't have a can of cream of anything, made with pantry staples, mayonnaise, and sour cream. That's going to give you the perfect creamy balance, because you've got, you know, that tanginess, and the sour cream also helps bring out some of the sweetness in the squash and zucchini. I'm also going to add in just a little bit of crushed red pepper, some salt and pepper, and most of my cheese. I'm just going to add 1 egg to help bind it all together. The secret ingredient here. I'm going to add in just a little bit to here just to help kind of hold this casserole together. And that's going to help absorb any extra moisture that comes out of squash and zucchini into our springtime dish. Oh, I forgot the egg. Now time for the egg. Got carried away. Then we have the rest of our stuffing mix, adding in some melted butter. We also use crushed up croutons here, and then the rest of our cheese. Besides the egg, everything in here is cooked. We just need it to all come together and get golden brown and bubbly. So I'm going in at 375 until that happens. About 45 minutes, and I covered it with foil halfway through. Let's see what we got. It's puffed up nicely. Color equals flavor. I give you flavor. This would be one of those times where you want to let it sit again for about, I don't know, 10 minutes at least before serving. It's the way I like it. I love the way the stuffing mix and the cheese made such a golden brown topping. God, it's so good. The vegetables perfectly tender and slightly sweet, combined with the crunchy, buttery, cheesy, everything else. This is the kind of casserole that I like to eat also for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. For my final trick is a new casserole I'm bringing to the table this year. It is a creamy corn casserole. Maybe you always have had corn at your Easter table. I have not, but today's the day. Keeping it easy with a bag of frozen corn. To that, I'm adding in a can of creamed corn. I want this to really have the vibes of like a creamy macaroni and cheese, but instead of macaroni, it's corn. For more creaminess, I am bringing out the can in my final casserole. So what's a holiday without it? For this, I'm doing cream of onion and 4 ounces of softened cream cheese. To that, I'm adding in the bottom parts of some green onion, a little pop of color and freshness, and some salt and pepper. Okay, let me get all that mixed together. And then I'm going in with Monterey Jack cheese. Now, you could go into the oven just like this, or you can make a topping. We're gonna make a topping. Melted butter, and now I bring out the Ritz cracker. Crush them up into the butter. Also, at this point, you could cover it and keep it in your fridge until you're ready to bake it. We're going in 350, still hot, browned, and bubbly. We've done it again, folks. We've done it again. Creamy corn casserole. Oh, that is what I'm talking about. And this is not cream corn. This is not the same thing. It's the cheese for me. That's what I wanted. Whether you're serving ham or lamb, this corn casserole is going to go perfectly. You get like those juicy pops from the corn. It's a little bit sweet, but then you have that super savory from that cream of onion and all of that cheese. Y'all. I think we nailed it. If you're looking for something different, yet also sticking to the Easter traditions while keeping it easy, you gotta give one of these side dishes a try. I'm casseroling. Happy Easter. Now casserole me out of here.